Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Legends of the Hidden Temple, Episode 8 entitled The Japanese Legend of Susano'o. And the official synopsis of Episode 8 is: four teams compete to win the chance at the Temple Run and $25,000. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. Episode 8, what can I say? It came and it went. It was a cool episode, nothing much else to say. And here is just my review on this episode. And the teams that are involved in the Moat Challenge are the Blue Barracudas, the Purple Parrots, the Silver Snakes, and the Green Monkeys. And the challenge was that each of the teams had to call for a grain, identify 5 different grains, throw them into different bags and everything, repair a broken raft, and place the grains on a bowl, and then whoever finishes made it and everything else. And honestly, it was a pretty close game as each of the teams had good swimmers. Each of the teams were on a somewhat of like a good pace and everything else. The Silver Snakes was somewhat in the lead for most of the time, and they were one of the first teams to advance. The Purple Parrots almost blows it big time as they have everything completed, but they do not hit the gong and everything as they were this close from losing the Moat Challenge just like that. But then long story short, the teams to advance were the Silver Snakes, the Blue Barracudas, and the Purple Parrots. The Steps of Knowledge was up next, and honestly, it seemed as if like the Silver Snakes were about to be one of the teams to play in the Temple runs and everything, the Temple games, because they had a good lead going on. The Blue Barracudas were not behind. They were on a good pace as well. The Purple Parrots were slowly behind, but they slowly caught up and everything. The Blue Barracudas were the first to advance into the Temple Games, and it was a huge two-way tie between the Purple Parrots and the Silver Snakes, and it all landed on one question. The Silver Snakes, they fumbled the bag. The Purple Parrots, they get the question right, and they advance into the Temple Games with the Blue Barracudas. The first Temple game was timed, and each of the teams had to identify 5 different ingredients, and then one of the teammates would have to launch that ingredient to their other partner, and whoever finishes in the fastest time will win. The Purple Parrots, they were first, and they struggled quite a bit as they was having difficulty with the launching and everything, and they finished within like 2 minutes and like 40 seconds. The Blue Barracudas was on somewhat of like a faster pace, but they had difficulties of even climbing up the mountains and everything. And so the Blue Barracudas, they barely finishes with less than 4 seconds left on the clock. The Blue Barracudas won Temple game number 1. The second Temple game, each of the teams were competing at the same time, where they would have to cut off a dragon's tail a couple of different times without touching the dragon with their hands. They would have to go back and forth with getting the swords and everything, and they would have to grab a nervous sword as well, throw it into this big hoop, and whoever made it first wins. And it was a really close game between the Blue Barracudas and the Purple Parrots. So much so, the Purple Parrots won Temple game number 2. And because of that, we had a tiebreaker. And the Purple Parrots, they won the tiebreaker as well. And the Purple Parrots were advancing into the Temple Games. And the team members of this Purple Parrots were Mike and Augie, and the artifact location was located in the shrine of the Silver Monkey, and it was a broken sword and everything. The Temple Run starts. Augie was the first to go, and Augie, he struggles quite a lot in the Crystal Cenote with trying to find the right door to open. He eventually finds the right door. He encounters a temple guard in the room of the beloved. he continues again and loses quite a lot of time throughout the entire process. He gets captured in a dark forest. Mike, he's up next and he continues where Augie left off. He somewhat makes some time and everything, but it is just not enough as he times out in the Steamy Hollows and they didn't get it. No team won. And that is how the episode basically ends, with no victory in sight. I felt like this episode, it was a cool episode. Like, the teams, they were interesting. I would consider the Purple Pirates the comeback team, as in each of the challenges, they struggled a lot. They almost fumbled the bag in the moat challenge. They almost messed up in the steps of knowledge. And I would consider them the comeback team and everything else. Kurt Fogg, he does not make an appearance this time around. Who knows when he'll be back, if he'll come back for this season as well. But I really did not have nothing much else to say about this episode. But thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.